Good afternoon, distinguished guests, family members, and friends of the death dealers. On behalf of the 4th Attack Reconnaissance Battalion, welcome to today's Change of Responsibility ceremony. Today, the outgoing Command Sgt. Major Lloyd Ankrum, will relinquish his responsibility as the Battalion Command Sergeant Major to the incoming Command Sergeant Major Ronald F. Pegues. In the formation before you are the soldiers in colors and guidons of the 4th Attack Reconnaissance Battalion. They are joined by the 2nd Infantry Division Warrior Band, commanded and conducted by 1st Sergeant Frank Barlow. The drum major is Staff Sergeant Aaron Johnson. The units represented before you from left to right are Headquarters and Headquarters Company, led by 1st Sergeant Enrique Rivera. Alpha Company, led by 1st Sergeant James Thomas. Bravo Company, led by 1st Sergeant Mark Bedwell. Charlie Company, led by 1st Sergeant Shelby Virgil. Delta Company, led by 1st Sergeant Raymond Cillian. Echo Company, led by 1st Sergeant Timothy Ward. And Shadow Company, led by 1st Sergeant Derek Palacios. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the non-commissioned officers and soldiers of the 4th Attack Reconnaissance Battalion, Specialist Justin Henderson is presenting a bouquet of red roses to Command Sergeant Major Ankrum's wife, Allison, in appreciation for her dedicated service to the battalion and Camp Humphreys community. Katusa Corporal Ho In Kwak is presenting a bouquet of yellow roses to Command Sergeant Major Pegues' wife, Karina, welcoming her to the unit. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation to be given by the 4th Attack Reconnaissance Battalion Chaplain, Major Jesus Munoz.
Let us pray. We gather in your time to witness the change of responsibility of Command Sgt. Major Ankrum and Command Sgt. Major Pegues. As one passes the responsibility to care, lead, and direct with timely and wise advice to the battalion commander, always seeking to better serve the members of the portion of the organization in which we serve, because the task is too heavy for one man alone. Therefore, in sharing the load of the command, enlighten them regarding the statutes that will shape the organization, leading by example how they are to conduct themselves and what are they to do. At the time that they look among all their subordinates, find men and women trustworthy, who hate dishonest gain, setting them as leaders among them, that their service, guidance in sharing their responsibility as the leaders for this organization may find the support that the leadership need, as you did with your people during the long and difficult journey, directed by you as source of direction when the difficult times will come and in the face of adversity. We also pray for our service members that serve under these military allegiance, deployed all over the world, and their families, for whom we ask courage and strength in the time of test, as servants of freedom at home and abroad to the nation that we all love. We ask this in your most holy name. Amen.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the adjutant for today's ceremony, Sergeant First Class Matthew Sims, will now initiate today's ceremony with the command sound attention. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as the official party takes their place at the reviewing line. The host for today's ceremony is the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade Command Sgt. Major Lloyd S. Powell. Command Sgt. Major Lloyd S. Powell will be accompanied by the outgoing Command Sgt. Major Lloyd Ankrum, and the incoming Command Sgt. Major Ronald Pegues. Ladies and gentlemen, please render honors for the playing of the national anthems of the Republic of Korea and the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. At this time, the reviewing party will move forward for the passing of the non-commissioned officer's sword. The position of the Command Sergeant Major is held by the senior non-commissioned officer in the unit. The Command Sergeant Major is the guardian of the unit color and acts as the principal advisor to the battalion commander on all enlisted matters. The Command Sergeant Major provides counsel and guidance to non-commissioned officers and other enlisted personnel and upholds military customs and traditions within the unit. In today's ceremony, we will witness a symbolic exchange of sacred trust in place of the non-commissioned officer for the care and keeping of the unit and its soldiers using the non-commissioned officer's sword. The non-commissioned officer's sword was adopted by the War Department in 1840. It was a completely functional weapon, not intended for display, but rather for hard and dedicated use. While no longer a part of the Army's inventory, American sergeants worked for over 70 years during the Mexican-American War, the Civil War, and the Spanish-American War. The passing of the sword signifies the relinquishing of the responsibility and authority from the outgoing Command Sergeant Major to the incoming Command Sergeant Major. The sword represents the cutting edge of professionalism and the living spirit of the organization and its mission. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, you will observe the passing of the non-commissioned officer's sword. The sword bearer holds the non-commissioned officer's sword, a symbol of the non-commissioned officer's authority. The sword bearer will pass the sword to Command Sergeant Major Ankrum in final deference in his authority and leadership. Command Sergeant Major Ankrum passes the sword to Command Sergeant Major Powell, signifying the relinquishing of his duties and gratitude for the opportunity to care for the soldiers of the 4th Attack Reconnaissance Battalion. Command Sergeant Major Powell accepts the sword with the following charge. Having served faithfully with distinction, you are hereby released from your responsibilities as the Battalion Command Sergeant Major. Upon fulfilling your duties with honor, it is with great respect and utmost gratitude that I now pass on those standards and responsibilities to your successor. Command Sergeant Major Powell opens the sword, signifying the start of Command Sergeant Major Pegues' responsibility, officially delegating him authority and entrusting him with the responsibility and care of the unit. Command Sergeant Major Powell will now pass the sword to Command Sergeant Major Pegues. Command Sergeant Major Pegues further draws the sword out of the scabbard and inspects the blade both front and back. Command Sergeant Major Pegues now sheaths the sword with the non-commissioned officer, signifying his first act as the Battalion Command Sergeant Major, and thereby accepting the responsibility therein to provide his unwavering leadership and unconditional loyalty to the commander, the unit, and the United States Army. Command Sergeant Major Pegues passes the sword to the sword bearer, symbolizing his dedication to the battalion and the seamless continuity of the non-commissioned officer support channel. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade Command Sergeant Major Lloyd S. Powell.
Good afternoon, Major General Vanda, Command Sergeant Major Spano, Colonel Rugen, Commanders, Command Sergeant Majors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and the death dealers here. Thank you for honoring us with your presence today. To the 2nd Infantry Division, thank you for your support as you travel long distance to assist in bringing honor and pride to this important event for both Command Sergeant Major Ankrum, Command Sergeant Major Pegues, and the soldiers and leaders of the Death Dealer Nation. To the Death Dealer Nation, first, thank you for what you do every day for the brigade, the 2nd Infantry Division, and for the U.S. Army. Today is a bittersweet day for Command Sergeant Major Ankrum. His time is up. It has been a long journey for him, his wife Allison, and his 3 wonderful children. Both have shared Command Sgt. Ankram's time here in Iraq for almost 3 years. He gave over 32 months of selfless service to this division and to the brigade as a Staff Sergeant Major and as a Battalion Command Sergeant Major for the Great Battalion 42 ARB. Command Sergeant Major Ankram's mentorship, coaching, and most importantly, his tireless efforts to train his unit, ensuring they were always ready to fight at any time, any day, with the shoot-to-kill spirit. Those are the characteristics that stand out about Command Sergeant Major Ankrum. Changes are tough. They are necessary, but are not always welcome. And Command Sergeant Major Ankrum has witnessed multiple changes throughout the division and the brigade. But despite all those changes and numerous transitions, the death dealers on the Command Sergeant Major Ankrum's leadership had an accident-free safety record. His dedication to upholding standards and discipline equated to 24 Apache helicopters and crew members ready to shield to kill in an hour's notice. A fuel armor section capable of establishing a 10-point fire anywhere, anytime, and soldiers that are disciplined and trained to safely drive convoys across the peninsula without any incident or accident. Absolutely superb performance of this organization led by the Command Sergeant Major. Command Sergeant Major Ankrum, and thank you for your 100% support you always provided to the brigade, the division, and the Command Sergeant Major's Mafia, as I call it. Thank you for being part of this team, for the support to the brigade's program, helping to enhance our ability to develop, train, and build strong soldiers and NCOs that one day will become the Army's future leaders. Thanks to you and your family, and the sacrifices you made, and to your wife, Allison, for everything she did for the community, helping our soldiers by providing them financial assistance through our Army programs. I personally want to thank you for your hospitality and always striving to build a stronger team, and for teaching me a few things. For that, I humbly thank you. God be with you and your family as you travel back to Connors to start a new chapter as a GSAT Battalion Sergeant Major at Fort Riley, Kansas. You are blessed to have the opportunity to continue your path as a Command Sergeant Major, and your unit will be in great hands. Command Sergeant Major Ronald Pegues, welcome. Thank you for taking the responsibility to lead our soldiers and NCOs as a 42 ARB Command Sergeant Major. We are humbled to have you and your wife, Corina, as part of the Talon family. The Army got it right by selecting you to be part of this elite organization and for providing us with your leadership and technical, tactical knowledge to continue our path to excellence, and to keep our soldiers safe, well-trained, and to help build the team into future leaders for this Army. I know we are going to benefit from your presence, so again, welcome. We are glad that you show up. Second to none, Talon's Attack.
Ladies and gentlemen, the outgoing Battalion Command Sergeant Major, Command Sergeant Major Lloyd Ankrum.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules to be here. Major General Vandal, Command Sergeant Major Spano, Colonel Rugen, distinguished guests, friends, and family, thank you for taking time out of your schedules to attend today's ceremony. Allison and I are honored to have you here with us today. First, I'd like to thank the 2ID Band for their participation in both of our ceremonies this week. As with all other ceremonies that you participate in, you always add style to our events while helping us preserve our customs and traditions. To the soldiers of 42 ARB, thank you for spending so many hours these past few days on Dealer West, helping us make sure that we put on these 2 first-class events. You all look great. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for all the soldiers standing before you today. "33 months ago, we arrived for the first time in Korea. We were not sure what to expect, but what we found was a new family. Affectionately known as the Death Dealers, the officers, warrant officers, NCOs, and soldiers of this organization are truly among the best the Army has to offer. Their professionalism, adherence to standards, and discipline are among the best that I have ever seen. Whether it is flying, fixing, fueling, or feeding, you always know that each job is accomplished with pride. From administrative actions to the logistics required to accomplish convoys, aerial gunneries, FTXs, CALFAXs, live fires, the Death Dealers could rest assured knowing they would have the required tools to accomplish every mission, and that they were always ready to fight tonight. How long is 33 months, you ask? It's funny how we determine time, but after some reflection, I broke it down like this. 3 commanding generals, 2 division command sergeants major, 2 brigade commanders and command sergeants major, 3 battalion commanders, 15 company commanders, and 18 first sergeants. Even after 33 months, there's not one thing that I would change about this assignment. I've learned something from every one of the aforementioned leaders, and I will take that knowledge with me to my next assignment. I would like to thank everyone past and present for the support that I've received during these past 33 months. We've been fortunate to have some of the best staff, NCOs, and officers in the Army, so much so that many of them are now on the brigade staff. To all the company commanders and first sergeants, thank you for all your support. I always tried to be fair and impartial, as we had many tasks to accomplish and a finite amount of soldiers. You always made it happen, supporting both the battalion and brigade missions. To all of our technical and tactical experts in the Warrant Officer Corps, thank you for all your support and adherence to the standards. This is truly the most professional group of aviators I've worked with in nearly 22 years. To the NCOs, thank you for what you do every day. Your leadership and training of all the young soldiers that arrive here in Korea definitely prepares them to be successful in not only Korea, but also in future assignments. I'm sure that when a soldier arrives at their new unit and people see they came from 4-2, they automatically know that they're trained and ready. To all the soldiers, you are the most important group of all. You are the team that makes everything in this organization happen. Without your efforts, 4-2 would not be able to accomplish 1/4 of what it does on a daily basis. You're an awesome group of young men and women, and it has been my honor to serve alongside you these past 33 months. Death Dealers, keep adhering to the standards that you have come to know and embrace. Only the names and faces have changed, but your support and adherence to the same standards and discipline will be paramount to the future success of this organization. I will be watching from afar. I cannot wait to see what accomplishments you achieve next. To the 2ID Sergeants Major Association, thanks for the good times, camaraderie, and learning opportunities. You are all true professionals, and I wish you the best of luck in the future. I would be remiss if I did not extend a special thanks to all our civilian employees, both those that support our air and ground maintenance, as well as those who support us around Camp Humphreys. Thanks for all you do every day. To my wife, Allison, I have no doubt that without you, I would not be standing here today. For the past 14 years, you have served the soldiers and families of our Army better than one could ever expect. You are probably a better Sergeant Major than I am. From your 3 times as an FRG leader, to your service as an FRSA, and most recently as the WIC lady, your service and sacrifice have not gone unnoticed. Thank you for all that you've done for me, and will continue to do for the soldiers and their families. Lastly, to Lieutenant Colonel Hopkins, my battle buddy for the past 25 months. Sir, thank you for your leadership, mentorship, and friendship. You are an exceptional leader, and there is no doubt in my mind a future brigade commander. We are truly going to miss you, Christine, Jackson, and Carson. We wish you the best of luck in Washington, D.C. I hope that the elk hunt we've been talking about in Idaho comes to fruition in the fall of 2015. To Lieutenant Colonel Desaunier and Command Sgt. Major Pegues, this is an exceptional team. All you have to do is ask, and the soldiers before you will break their backs trying to make it happen. I wish that I could stick around for just one more gunnery, so that I could see the smiles of satisfaction that I know you will both have as you roll back through the CPX gate after completion. It is truly one of the best feelings that I have experienced. Welcome to Dealer Nation. Shoot to kill, Death Dealer 7 signing out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Battalion Command Sergeant Major of the 4th Attack Reconnaissance Battalion, Command Sergeant Major Ronald F. Pegues.
Good afternoon. Major General Vandal, Command Sergeant Major Spano, distinguished guests, friends and families of the Death Dealer Nation. Again, thank you all for taking time out of your schedules to come down for our change of responsibility. This is our Major Ankrum and I. It's a great day for me as I assume duties as a battalion CSM of the Death Dealers. It's been a long, strange journey for me at times, but I'm proud to be here and proud to be leading the Death Dealer Nation. So Major Ankrum, you've built a great team of leaders, and they will continue to set the standard for us as I will continue to provide that leadership for them as we go along in the next 2 years with Colonel Dasani and I. You set the standard, the nation's at the top of the heap, and we'll stay there for you. Again, Sergeant Major Ankrum and Allison, thank you for your support in our transition time as I moved my wife here from El Paso, Texas. You've provided great support for us. Thank you, and good luck at your next assignment at Fort Riley. There are quite a few people I'd like to thank for my success, but there's one person I would really love to thank, and that's my wife, Karina. You kept me straight, you've always given me the honest answer, and always kept me on the right path whenever I was looking for an easy way out. Thank you, dear, and I love you. Lieutenant Colonel Dasani and Julie, we look forward to being the command team to provide the next set of leadership, support, and take care of the great families of the Dealer Nation here on Camp Humphreys. We look forward to working for the next 24 months. And once again, thank you all for attending today's ceremony. Shoot to kill, Death Dealer Nation, Death Dealer 7 signing on.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the 2nd Infantry Division Warrior March and the Army Song. The words are found in your programs. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the Change of Responsibility ceremony. Thank you for attending. Command Sergeant Major and Mrs. Pegues invite you to join them for a reception in the aviation hangar. Command Sergeant Major and Mrs. Ankrum will remain at the reviewing line for final farewells.